From the ruthless world of Nimrod, Antal's predators comes a more ruthless, much larger, darker, more vicious, and more aggressive species who, unlike the Yautja, blatantly disregard the honor-bound hunting codes. First introduced in 2010 in the third Predator movie, super predators, also known as the Berserker Yautja, are a superior species to the Yautja, an extraterrestrial hunter race. The super predators strongly believe that they are the best of their species and engage in hunting not just humans, but also other Yautjas for fun. But who are they? What do they look like? What makes them different? We will discuss all that and more today. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
Oh shit!
Who are the Super Predator clan? Like we said, the Super Predators are the same species as the Yautja, just much superior and evolved than their hunter cousins. In Nolan's words, they're similar, but they're different. It's kind of like the difference between dogs and wolves. However, the Supers believe that their traditional jungle hunter counterparts are weaker and no match for them, while the jungle hunters believe that the Supers are bad blood. These counter-beliefs and opinions put the two clans in a long-running conflict with each other. The traditional predators are bound by a strict code of honor, which they believe all hunters must strictly follow. Still, to the Supers, such beliefs are considered self-sabotaging and a major ground for making the traditional predators untermensch. This rogue faction of the Yautja kill for fun and hunt to assert their dominance and superiority over other species. They find thrill in engaging in combat with the most dangerous individuals and use this practice to improve their skills. They are also known to use their extraterrestrial species, like the hellhounds, as weapons, which is considered taboo among other species. The three key members of the Super Predator clan are Berserker, Tracker, and Falconer, who reside on a game-preserved planet. Berserker, known for his underhand techniques during fights, Tracker, known for using hellhounds to flush out prey, and Falconer, known for developing technologically advanced, unorthodox weapons, would kidnap worthy prey, release them in the game planet, and hunt them for fun. What makes super predators biologically unique? So what makes the super predators unique and different from their traditional counterparts? To start off, they are much larger than the conventional Yautja. Their more robust and muscular physical build also makes them stronger and a more dominant species that can easily outperform the Yautja in combat. However, in terms of height, they don't differ much and are around 7 feet tall. Apart from being more muscular, their overall physiology is also more aggressive, with a more pronounced reptilian appearance due to a larger face and a snout, as well as scaly and darker skin with pigmentation of different colors. As compared to their cousin species, the Super's dreadlocks are also more swept back. The darker, redder, and more reptilian skin with scales can be an indication of either a deliberate genetic mutation that the Supers are known to engage in time and again, or simply just a genetic modification to a new environment and feral ideologies. The Super Predators also produce a much deeper and more menacing trill. How do super predators differ in hunting style and gear? The most prominent difference in the hunting styles between the predators and the super predators is probably the sheer lack of honor code among the supers. They are not the ones to engage in a fair fight and would go to any extent and means to win. The supers don't even shy away from hunting unarmed prey. However, when it comes to hunting gear, apart from a few more technologically advanced weapons, the super predators use the same technology for hunting as the Yautja. The most commonly used gear in this respect is the wrist blades or the gauntlet knives that are serrated blades about 6 to 8 inches long and 2 to 8 inches wide, retractable from the wrist gauntlets that they wear. Although the supers only have one wrist blade in their gauntlets, the armor worn by the supers also has a more leather-like appearance as opposed to metal and is tighter around their bodies. One could even say that their armor is more stylized for intimidation. The plasma caster used by the super predators also seems to be more evolved than that of the Yautja. These modified plasma casters can fire multiple plasma bolts while revolving, resembling a Gatling gun. Just like Yautja, they also use biohelmets, but with more unique features like vision mode that can detect the pulse of the prey, a distinctive weapon that the supers use, but no other species have been shown to use to track their prey, is the Predator Falcon, which is a type of spy drone. They can not just imitate a human voice, but also mimic the voice of a specific human being using a special feature in their biohelmet known as vocal mimicry. They can also use remote detonators and throw them to a great distance using their wrist gauntlets that would only explode when coming into contact with an organic object. They also use cloaks to make themselves invisible, camouflage, or shapeshift. To induce fear among their prey, the supers also use traps. Their clear penchant towards collecting trophies drives them to prey on the most dangerous species and improve themselves, and become aggressive killers. How do the Super Predator clan hunt their prey? As discussed before, the Super Predator clan has no regard for codes or honor, so it is only natural that they do not employ any sort of fairness while hunting, and instead rely on their brutal, ruthless killer instincts to go to any lengths necessary, be it using hellhounds to track prey or lay traps. Berserker, a prodigy and the first member of the clan, is known to be extremely dominant and confrontational in his methods. Often regarded as a renegade and a self-proclaimed leader of the clan, Berserker uses the most vicious and underhanded techniques to hunt and is not afraid of confrontations. Tracker, on the other hand, as his name suggests, is best known for his tracking abilities using hellhounds. Hellhounds are genetically modified beasts who can easily flush out prey and give the clan an obvious advantage during the hunts. The third member of the clan, Falconer, is characterized by his love for technology and comes up with the most advanced and unorthodox gear for hunting. Thus, his role in the clan is much more analytical and doesn't directly engage with prey unless necessary. In fact, the Predator Falcon was his brainchild. Who are the most notable super predators? The Super Predator clan consists of 3 notable members, Berserker, Tracker, and Falcon, who were in conflict with the traditional predators. They are the Yautja outcasts who have been possibly sent to the game preserve planet as a punishment for disregarding the code of honor. The first, and also the alpha killer of the clan, is Berserker, also known as Mr. Black. He is the largest of the 3 members of the clan and is probably the most sadistic and aggressive among all, who doesn't even give it a second thought before brutally murdering his prey. He is often known to steer away from the clan and establish his own clan as the leader. Even though he has superior ability to hunt and kill, and is known to employ various fear tactics to intimidate his prey, he eventually gets killed at the hands of an elite mercenary, Royce. The second notable member is Tracker, who is responsible for the surveillance of the prey. He can control the beastly genetically modified hellhounds to track the prey, and is not hesitant to flush out even the strongest of prey. He also uses various traps to lure his prey, and his close association with the hellhounds suggests that he is crude enough to manipulate other life forms. Last but not least is the innovator and the scout of the clan, Falcon. Acting as the eyes for the clan, with his technologically modified tools and gears, his most powerful tools are his surveillance drone, aka the Falcon, and his tactical mind. Like Berserker, Falconer also succumbs to the same fate of death at the hands of a Yakuza, Hanzo. Apart from these 3 members of the clan, another notable super predator was Nightstorm, an elder super predator known to initiate the blood feud with Yautja. It is Nightstorm's teachings and visions that the clan follows as well. Scavenge, a descendant of Nightstorm, is also a half-breed super predator who played a notable part in Xenomorph Hunt. However, unlike other super predators, Scavenge followed the code of honor set forth by the Yautja. Who are the key members of the Super Predator clan? As we discussed, Berserker, Tracker, and Falconer are the key members of the Super Predator clan, but each has individual traits and specialties. Starting off with Berserker, he was somewhat a generational prodigy, a title he acquired after being the youngest Yautja to kill a xenomorph. Superior in skills to all Yautja, it doesn't come as a surprise that he refuses to be a follower in a clan and thus departs from the clan to establish his own with Tracker and Falconer. The sadistic nature of Berserker is evident from how he enjoys toying with his prey to test their sanity. For example, when he used vocal mimicry and Kuchio's dead body to pretend like he was in immense pain to lure Royce and his gang. After a series of combats, Royce and his gang finally managed to gain the upper hand over the Berserker, and in the end, the Berserker is beheaded by Royce after his biohelmet is destroyed. Although lacking the alpha energy like Berserker, Tracker was no less sadistic by any means. Also known as the Flusher or the Dog Handler, Tracker helped his clan take down their prey with the help of his hellhounds. After tracking down Royce and his team to Nolan's hideout, he succeeded in killing Nolan with the help of his plasmacaster. He also managed to impale Nikolai, but met his end when the dying Nikolai blasted his claymore mines, killing himself as well as Tracker. Falconer, the young blood of the clan, is probably the most underrated member. He was dismissive of the traditional methods of hunting, and his obsession with technological engineering led him to create his own unique gears like the Falconer, which helped him track Royce's allies. Even though he preferred devising tools and gears, he too was extremely strong, evident during the duel with Hanzo. However, what became the Falconer's undoing was his attempt to engage in hand-to-hand combat with Hanzo instead of using his weaponry, as he was eventually killed by Hanzo in the combat. What is the known history of the Super Predators? The actual history of the Super Predators is quite unclear, but it is assumed that this race of Yautja subspecies originated from an ancient and more powerful Super Predator Nightstorm who dismissed the Yautja honor code. It is also believed that the Super Predators got their evolved features through genetic modifications to become better hunters, but there is no established origin story. Why are Super Predators at war with jungle hunters? The Super Predators were introduced in 2010 as a subspecies of the Yautja who were in an ongoing conflict with them. However, the actual case of the conflict between the two is unknown. However, it has been described as a long-running blood feud by Noland. It is said that the conflict between the two subspecies was initiated by the ancient Super Predator Nightstorm, who did not follow the Yautja honor code, believing that it made them weak as hunters. He believed that by disregarding the code, they could be much superior hunters, and thus departed the Yautja clan, and later, other Super Predators like Berserker followed in his footsteps. The war arising out of the conflict between the opinions of the traditional Predators and Nightstorm lasted for generations, leading to a never-ending war. We can also safely assume that until and unless by some miracle, the Super Predators start following the Code of Honor, this blood feud is bound to last. Are Super Predators considered outcasts in Yautja society? Yes. The Super Predators are indeed considered to be outcasts in the Yautja society. Even though they belong to the same subspecies, their views and culture with regard to hunting differ completely. The Yautja perform ritualistic hunting of other life forms that they consider to be dangerous. However, while doing so, they maintain strict protocols and follow a code of honor which dictates how they hunt, and upon failing to adhere to the code, they destroy themselves on account of not being able to be a true Yautja. Bringing shame upon the clan is frowned upon by the hunters. The Super Predators follow no such code. There is no honor among them, and they couldn't care less about fighting fair. This is why the Yautja consider them to be bad blood. The Yautja society is at liberty to kill any Super Predator on sight. What lesser-known facts set Super Predators apart? Now that we are almost at the end of our explanation, let's take a look at some lesser-known facts about the Super Predators. Even though the term Super Predators was popularized only after the release of Nimrod Antal's third movie in the Predator series, the term was first coined, Predator, Concrete Jungle, to refer to a super predator named Scarface. It is, however, unclear whether he was referred to as a super predator due to him actually belonging to the subspecies or merely due to his superior skills. While the movie itself doesn't delve deeper into how the Super Predator clan ended up in the game-preserved planet, it is often assumed that they are sent there as a form of punishment by the Yautja society. The only three Super Predators that we get to witness are the three members of the clan, namely Berserker, Tracker, and Falconer, but surprisingly, in the sneak peek, more than 3 laser lights are seen. This indicates that there might be more Super Predators on the planet. There were many ideas that were originally included in the script, but were removed from the movie. For example, in the script, it is said that the Super Predators bleed black, but when we finally get to see their color of blood in the final movie, we can see that it is green. The script also said that Berserker has spiked dreadlocks and armor, but in the movie, we can find no such spikes. Even though there is no real evidence of how the Super Predators became more evolved and larger than the jungle hunters, it is speculated that they either took some form of drugs or used genetic modification by exploiting the DNA of other living forms. Marvelous verdict. To sum it all up, we can safely say that the Super Predators, representing a darker and more evolved subspecies of the Yautja, operate with a relentless thirst for the hunt, with a ruthless, aggressive, and dominant approach towards their prey. They don't believe in honor or playing a fair game and are willing to go to any lengths to assert their dominance. Even though they might be considered outcasts by the Yautja society, the Super Predator clan, led by Berserker, is undeniably powerful and formidable. Whether we label them as mere villains or even a cautionary symbol of unrestrained power, there is no doubt that they add copious thrill to the franchise. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.